Hello YouTube, this is Louis Trans, aka L25, aka Louis JM. Today I'm gonna do a unique video game experience. I know, pretty sure all of you know that I always do arcade tours throughout the video game genres, depending on which is specified. But today, I'm gonna do a video game that's actually arcade based. This game is called Arcade Paradise. Now, the plot of this game is that you're pretty much a college dropout that now owns a laundromat the father gave you, and in order to continue to gain the business, you decide to do arcades within the laundromat. You start out with a few games, then you slowly expand, add more and more and more, to the point where you become the biggest arcade entrepreneur in all of, well, I believe it's in London or something. It's really hard to tell. Anyways, I was able to play through this entire game and got all of the arcade games necessary. Well, all the arcade games at the time of recording. I don't think I'm going to add like 1, 2, 3 more left, but still, this is going to be one of those uniquely insane experiences, depending on what is. So, what's gonna happen is that I'm going to start showing you each arcade game, play through each of them, and give you my personal thoughts on this video game. So, without further ado, let us begin. Alright, so here we are. This is the complete arcade section that I've slowly built up. And as you can see, I had to make a few minor adjustments. So, give me a second, here we go. As you know, there are pretty much a total of over 50, well, I don't think it's 50 arcade games. I think it's more along over, let's see. Yeah, it's over 40 arcade games, 43. And it's all set up in order, so that's quite a long collection. I even also gotten all of the upgrades, just so I can have a much more longer experience with each of these games. Of course, I had to remove the gold watch because, well, even if you don't do laundry anymore, once you have to go over the entire business, you still have to deal with certain other things, such as like toiletry responsibilities. So that being out of the way, let's delve right in. I'll give you the complete walkthrough of the area. I really like the front facade. It has a nice retro 90s, 80s type vibe to it. And the artwork in general is quite special in a way. Like, you have all the game sprites set up in one go. Let's take a look inside. So as you can see, quite a packing arcade. I'll give you a complete walk around the area just to show you what we have. Alright, so as you can see, we're gonna get started like from one end to the next, just to show you all of the arcade games. Starting off with what I believe to be known as Vostok's 2093. This is basically a shooter related to Galaga or Galaxian, but with a bit of a time pilot feel to it. So let's start playing with this bad boy. As you see, the object of the game is to gather as much upgrades as you possibly, as much gold as much as possibly can, so you can add more upgrades, which I'm going to show you later on. Now this game has like a variety of weapons and ammunition. I'm showing you the blaster right now. But there's also other unique weapons and abilities necessary. So you got like R.O.G.E, which is weapon damage. You got bullet upgrades. You have critical chance hits. You have like max health, regen, laser upgrade, health regen, cash attract, move speed, and rocket upgrade ability. Let's see if we can add like a laser upgrade, just to show you that. I might even have to show the rockets, but we'll see what happens. Let's continue with the next round. In fact, I think it's time we start showing the lasers. Now, it's time to show off the rockets. Pretty cool, huh? And the best part is you don't have to play all the way through. You can always stop now and just hope for the best. Besides, I got like a lot of other arcade games to show off. Continuing with the whole Vostok Inc. stuff with this pinball machine, and which is, believe it or not, the only pinball machine in the arcade. I just don't understand why. Well, regardless, I decided to put this next to this one because, well, it's pretty much a Vostok series as a way. Now this acts as like the pinball machine from the Pinball Museum that I showed off a bit, and it does have its specialties. Even having a bowl save feature where you can just continue to have the bowl set up. So you don't have to worry about losing the ball for a number of seconds like in the actual arcade game. It's a pretty cool pinball machine when you think about it. Okay, now there's these 4 arcade games I set up in the middle to show off some of the best of the best. And this one here is by far the most unique. This one's called Racer Chaser. And this is basically a combination of Pac-Man and Grand Theft Auto. You'll know it when I press the play button. Now, as you can see, object of the game is collect all the cash and money while avoiding the cops. It's kind of like when you have to avoid the ghost with Pac-Man. But the difference is that once you get hit, you get another chance. So you have to run and find the next car. Just like that, you're all good to go. And another thing is that you get these special power-ups where you turn into a tank and you crush police cars on the way. That's a pretty cool achievement, if you pretty cool accomplishment, if you say so myself. And of course you have this special ability where you can just drive fast. And if you get caught by the cops, you just use these things to let them dance to the music. Oof. Kinda cool, huh? Alright. But the next one here we have Blockchain, which is mostly like a Tetris meets numbers, I believe. Basically, you're just a hacker trying to hack into multiple databases to find some interesting secrets. And I kind of like it when they have the Matrix like background, which is kind of cool. So this is basically it. You just put together as many numbers as you possibly can, and make sure the hack's successful. To me, it feels like it was a bit of a chore for me because I just put random numbers in random holes. But the success is very, very special. You also even have like unique power-ups, just so you can hack better at it. Like for instance, this one, the quote-unquote stack Overflow, it just puts in multiple numbers in one go, like this. There's even this one here, which is a bit flip, where you flip the packets. So it goes something like this. Really cool. What do you think about it? There's also other ones, like there's a bomb one, which is the Trojan, or the worm virus, which is like you just get rid of one huge line. And of course, there's the RNG, which shoots values together. Alright, so the next one we have here is something called Empathy. This is basically a mock-up version of the arcade game known as Computer Space, with the cabinet, how it looks. I never seen an arcade like Computer Space in Jersey. I mean, I've been through a couple of museum arcades, and you rarely see something like this before. If anyone has any idea on how Computer Space works, let me know in the comments, because I really don't have a freaking clue on how it works out. Anyways, let's play this and see how it is. Now, the object of the game is kind of simple. You're just going to have to climb up just so you can reach the end, if there is actually an end. And you have to avoid these projectiles. My idea for the game is to use the arrows with the thumb simultaneously just to reach the end. Really strange game when you think about it. And over here we have something called Stack Overflow. Don't know if it's connected to any arcade games, but the object of the game is that you have to make sure all the boxes are stacked in order. Let me show you how it works. Starts out easy at first, just so you can get an idea on what to do. Yeah, so like I said it before, you have to match the boxes accordingly. Because if not, you're just going to get yourself fired in the time limit that is given to you. Yeah, so basically that's just mostly this game in a nutshell. Match the boxes or you're gonna get yourself screwed over. Alright, so let's continue on down this line. We got a few classics right here to show off. Oh, and just to let you know, if you have like any arcade games that are broken, just simply fix them by wiping out these bugs, which is a bit of an easy thing. Don't think you can actually do that in real life. I'm pretty sure it's more like fixing everything, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, so the next one we have Vector Attack. Now this type of game is kind of similar to Battlezone, only you're a tank shooting up helicopters in a horizontal view. Kind of weird, but hey, it is what it is. Let's show how it works. And the best part is, there's an Easter egg where you go around this end, you get a surprise. Pretty basic. You just shoot out helicopters in 4 different directions. But as it progresses, the helicopters go faster and faster. So better keep your eye and hand coordination at the ready. Otherwise, yeah, that will happen. Next one here we have Shuttle. Well, I don't want to say the last part because you know. I'll say shuttle clocks, and as you can see, it's pretty much a mock-up of the classic Pong game. Right down to its unique gameplay. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Definitely have a bring back the whole Pong thing with this game. Alright, so next arcade game is a little thing called Line Terror, and this is basically Quicks in a nutshell, only it's much more haunting with its bright red color. And of course the sound design is pretty intense. As you can see, it's just like Quicks. Just form some cubes to block off a multi-line screensaver. But of course, it's not the multi-lines you have to worry about. You have to worry about the electric charges from the sides, and if you idle for too long, a mine will come in and destroy you. Really weird game, but hey, at least you enjoy it. Alright, now this is like one of those standalone things. It's called Knuckles and Knees, which is basically a simple beat 'em up type of game. The artwork's kind of cool, and you get to pick multiple characters. And of course, you start upgrading upgrading your characters if you lose a game, or better yet, if you pass a level. And there are 4 different characters. You got this Hooternon, Fury, Hardman, and Knuckles. I would want to go with Fury because, well, Fatal Fury. What can I say, right? Now, this is basically a beat 'em up type of game where you knock out as many people as you can. Kind of reminiscent to Streets of Rage, or better yet, Ninja Turtles in a way. You know, and the best part is, you see that building called King Wash? That's basically the business that you inherited from your dad, which means once you get in, you have an actual arcade game within an arcade game, kind of like an Inception type of vibe. And you play these arcades like, say, Fly Guy, this is pretty much Flappy Birds, Toad, which is more of Frogger, Brick, which is pretty much Breakout. You have Snake, which, well, Snake, obviously, and Racer, which is pretty much a racing car game. I'll play one of these games because, you know, there's a challenge for this one. Oh, by the way, these arcade games have unique goals where you have to beat a certain criteria just to pass it. Really cool. Alright, let's get back to the fighting aspect. And of course, you see the level up part, and you select the increase in HP, damage, and speed. Kinda cool. Now right here we have a little game that I personally like called Zombat 2. Which is mostly like one of those battle royales, but you're shooting as many zombies as you can. And you get to play 4 players in a way. Really fun experience when you think about it. Give me a second for me to fix this so I get to play it. Of course there's other chores you have to do other than cleaning up bugs. You can like clean toilets, pick up trash, get hoppers if you don't have an upgrade where someone can pick up the hoppers for you. And of course the laundromat part earlier in the game. And of course you gotta get rid of gum as well, so to get more cash. So that's another way of putting it. Now you get to choose 4 characters and give it a unique color. So that is a cool way of putting it. And as you can see, you run around and you shoot up as many zombies as you possibly can. And it has unique power-ups as well. You have shotguns, you have SMGs, you have assault rifles, you got miniguns, sniper rifles, grenades, even an airstrike if you're lucky. You can buy it from at the store right here, where you got like a ride collection. You can use a flamethrower as well. But I bought all of these, which means I was able to gain as many as I possibly can. So that is one way of putting it. Oh, and as you saw in the notification, you gotta have to close the business down for the night. You can still open it up until 2 a.m., but afterwards you gotta go back, otherwise you pass out, and let's just say it's not going to be a fun experience for you afterwards. You just sleep through the day and your business gets idled. I gotta admit, I enjoy this game way more than the others, believe it or not. I guess maybe it has something to do with shooting as many people, but many zombies actually. But it's a fun experience. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Though you gotta admit, that was a fun game to enjoy. Even for someone like me. Alright, so next one here we have Tump-a-Golpher, which is pretty much whack-a-mole in a way. So basically you're just thumping gophers. Of course, you gotta use the arrow keys and buttons to make it work. Let me show you how it's done. Okay, so basic game premise. Just hit as many goals as you can, and whatever you do not hit the lumberjack. I believe that's the lumberjack. It's hard to tell. see? Like that. Don't hit him. You might lose some points. See what I mean? Another fun game and quite the uniqueness in a way. Alright, so forgive the light shine. I had to give the game a bit of a break so I can recharge this phone. It's already in the afternoon, so hopefully it will be easy to manage. But hey, I'm gonna pick up where I left off, of course, because well, the next game is by far the most difficult, the air hockey table. Of course, you can't have an arcade without an air hockey table, so let's show what it's about. See, it's mostly basically air hockey in a way. So, just have to do it like this. Ugh. The gameplay is simple. Just make sure this thing scores enough 10 points total to become the winner. Problem with this is, of course, this AI puck is a bit of a pain in the ass. Not to mention you can accidentally score your own goals when you can. Even your opponent can score their own goals as well. Yeah, basically that's in a nutshell. I mean, I don't know which air hockey game is the worst. This one or the one in Duke Nukem Forever. I'm just I'm just saying. That's just saying. Okay, so now that we deal with this area here, let's head on down to the back end where more arcades are presented, as you can see through here. Now, of course, no arcade isn't complete without an official pool table, and this is what we got. The official Hustler pool table. Now, the object is simple. Hit as many balls as you can to win. Just pull a stick back and fire. So I don't know why I keep on doing the cue ball with the white ball. Jesus. Still, for the best, right? Anyways. It's one way of handling such a uniqueness. The bigger problem is that you gotta have to hit a specific type of cue balls to make it work. So, right now I got the striped ones, the CPU has the fully colored ones. Which is kinda cool. Wait, did I get an 8 ball? I don't think so. No, we got the 8 ball. That's another thing. If you get the 8 ball, it's pretty much game over for you no matter what. So it's whether it be me or the opposing player, it's going to happen one way or the other. Oh, it looks to me like we have a bit of a problem. Hang on for 1 second. I think here's another mechanic that seems to be the case. Ball in the corner pocket. Oh. You know what? Let me show you this while I can have a chance. Yeah, basically just going to have to. Yeah, basically if the thing gets clogged, you pretty much need to hurry on back and clean it up quickly. Anyways, at least we can now finally get to the arcade portions of these arcades. And this time we're focusing on these Woodguy Woodgal collection that I've set up right here. These are like these are like the rare occurrences where you need to use these games based on a particular character, like you see in say Pac-Man or Mario Brothers or Nintendo or whatever. So why don't we get started? First we have Strike Gold, starring Woodguy. This is basically one of those digging games. I think I have one from the Midway Classic Arcade Area collection, where you just have to dig down and gather up enough things for upgrades. And these upgrades would include something such as drilling power, extended air, extended stuff. I'm trying to get the springs though, because just to complete the whole thing. I'm already at 15 gold mushrooms, I believe. It's really hard to tell what they do with these things. Anyways, let's start to show you how it looks. Right off the gate 2. Yeah, this definitely has that and of course, you're gonna have to get an extra life out of them all. Oof, and I sort of killed myself with that one now. Really good at that. Anyways, that's pretty much Strike Gold. That's actually from a Woodguy game, but this is a Woodgal game here, next one, which is Woodgal's Adventure, which is pretty much like a RPG meets Candy Crush in a way. And it's in a Giga Cabinet. I might be showing you guys those Giga Cabinets later on, but let's just show you how this game works. So as you can see, you just go ahead, run around, look through where to go next. And these creatures go in the way, because once they're in the way, you're gonna have to play games with them. Like this, so you're gonna need to be at the ready for it. Just like that. I did make some little progress, but considering these are games we're talking about here, I don't know if it was a good idea playing this when you have other arcade games to look after. So far I'm already up to this bridge where I need to collect 7 stars in order for me to progress. basically, this is what it is. It's a Candy Crush clone, in a way. And it is kind of entertaining, in a way. Entertaining as well, because you can see all these pretty colors and all that. So, where am I putting it? Problem is, you don't know much. You don't know how you're gonna match these colors around here. And of course, you're gonna have a time limit here, so you need to hurry up. Otherwise, you're gonna lose your star. Yeah, this one's a little hard to manage. Oh well. But now we have these two. Woodguy Jr. and Woodgal Jr. These are basically the same copy-pasted Woodguy mechanic. I'm gonna show you these two individually. So the objective is kind of simple. You hit the tree with the axe, and cut down as many logs as you possibly can. And I think this is going to be the biggest problem because you're gonna have branches in the way, and even if you know what you're doing, you're still going to get yourself hit in the head by this branch. Not to mention you have a time bar to show how much time you have left, and the more you hit, the slower it will increase significantly. The same mechanic can be said with Woodgal Jr. as well, because it's the same mechanic, as you can see. But in between these two cabinets is something called Woodguy Golf. Now, the basic premise of this is pretty much a golf game, kind of like Golden Tee in a way. And you have 3 different types of levels to compete, and you have like a total of 6 to 9 holes, I guess. And you have to pick either Woodguy or Woodgal Jr. Let me show you how this game works. As you can see, you have these 3 levels: Goswick Farm Cup, Royal Green Club, and Island Links. And of course, your characters are Woodguy and Woodgal. Let's go with Woodguy, considering he's the main objective. Now, basically, this is mostly kind of like Mario Kart in a way, and you got a total of 9 holes to take down. So let's give it a go, shall we? So once you have everything set up, you have to get your power level to the right amount. Going forward, you hit the power level. Going back, you hit the power level. Just like that. we go. So yeah, pretty much one of those typical type of golfing games. Would be a little long and tedious, but hey, whatever. At least you don't have to worry too much on BS like this. Anyways, back to our arcade games. We have this beauty right here, the Video Air Hockey. This is one of the first games you automatically get at the start of Arcade Paradise, and it does have its uniqueness. Pretty much so, by the way it seems. So let's play it. Basically, this is just like the air hockey I showed you earlier. Only this time you're going to need to get 5 points to win. See? That's simple to beat. I must admit, I think this video air hockey is easier to manage than the actual air hockey in this game, so you want to give it a try? Be my guest. Otherwise, it could be a little difficult from time to time. Okay, had to take a bit of a quicker break again just to charge this phone, so let's continue, this camera actually, so let's continue with the arcade tour. And to continue, we got these babies. These are the GigaCab collection that I decided to insert into the back end of the arcade. Each of them have their own uniqueness, and some of which do have some similarities here and there. So, why don't we start with the first one here at the corner? Slime pipes. I don't even know how slime pipes is like. See, the object of the game is to glide the slime into the pipes to where it's going to be connected. And to do so, you're going to have to make sure the pipes are accurate, otherwise you're going to have multiple leakages. Here's like the first one. It's a simple fact. You just move it from one end to the next. It kind of reminds me a bit like Bioshock with its pipe mechanic system to hack. So it's kind of easy to manage in a way. Of course, you're going to have the time limit before it starts to fill up, so you need to be accurate with your stuff as much as possible. As you see. And it does get a little harder and harder every time you try to figure out which pipe goes into where. Yeah, it does get a little harder as time goes on. Next one is called Summer of Sports. You don't know much about this video, about it like that, but it's basically Olympic Games if it's in a Japanese session. Now there are 4 different sports that you take part on: 100-meter sprint, 110-meter hurdles, the long jump, and the javelin. But for variety's sake, we're gonna do the multi-sport because all 4 rolled up into one. Now the game wants you to whittle around the joystick controller just so your player can start moving, your NPC anyways. And it's kind of like Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games, where you're gonna have to take part in a variety of sports and try to make it work. So hurdles is just basic running. Hurdles is like basic running with the jump mechanic. Long jump, basic running with the jump mechanic, and javelin is basic running with the jump mechanic. Kind of simple, if you want to get used to it. Now this one is different. This one's called R.O.G.E.R. Basically, it's sort of like those Raptor airplane games, but only instead of shooting missiles or anything, you're avoiding the missiles. One of the most difficult ones up to date from what I can understand. Here, let me show you how it looks. Of course, you have a time limit on how you're going to avoid these missiles, but once you get the idea, I'm pretty sure you know how to get this to work. Though it would be a pain in the ass managing it. Still, kind of fun if you try to get past level 5. Though it's not going to be fun from that point forward. Alright, next one we have here, Bugai, which is pretty much bust a move in a clone format. Here, let me show you. Basically, you have like multitudes of levels, and you have to beat your opponent by making sure their battle gauge is fuller than yours. Kind of interesting. I'm already up to level 14, so I'm going to show you level 14 in its true form. See? Simple to beat no matter what you do. Now let's do one more level before we leave, so... And the best part is, your opponents are like NPCs from other arcade games, so... You have a bit of nostalgia going up against the players that you, too, were either playing as or fighting against. There, see? That's pretty much Bugai in a nutshell. Bust a move clone, in a way. And now last, and certainly not least in the Giga collection, we have Barkanoid. Now, I'm pretty sure you can understand what that means and how it's being pronounced, but I think it's best I show it to you anyways, just to give you an idea. So basically this is it. It's Barkanoid, but with a dog. And of course, like every Barkanoid, there's like multiple parts you need. So you have to use in order to get past these levels. I think the laser one is personally my favorite due to how awesome it looks. Unfortunately, when you run out of blocks, it's hard to manage the rest of it without making sure the ball hits the last block, which is a pain in the ass. Whatever. It's just one of those games that could be difficult when you're trying to beat one level. Now this one, this one is something I wasn't expecting. This beauty is called Kung Fury. For those of you who don't know, Kung Fury is pretty much an actual mobile game where you beat up a bunch of bad guys in a one finger punch Punchman vibe. It has that whole vibe and everything. Now I had this on my iPad one time, but it was a bit too hard for me to manage, so I quit it. But now, here it is in its arcade form, and it's got like all the cool graphic art and everything. Definitely is something I wasn't expecting, not by a long shot. However, this does look fun, if not a bit frustrating on certain occasions. Let me show you how it plays out. Boom. Surprising it has the same field as the actual game. Along with the button attacks, which really cool. And you can see all the enemies that you need to beat as well. Anyways, let's just play it to show you how it looks. Okay, so you have 4 different characters: Kung Fury, Hackerman, Barbariana, and Triceracop. We're gonna go with Kung Fury because, you know, he's the main star. Oh, and believe it or not, Kung Fury also had a movie on Netflix once. I did check again just to see, but it turns out there's no movie on there anyways. You might be lucky enough to find it on YouTube, but you can't find it on Netflix. Pain in the ass. Well, let's get started. See, this is the basic type of one-finger punchman type vibe. Although we're gonna have an issue with the nurses, unless if you can call them nurses. Oof. Not that easy to beat. But hey, it's good to go back and forth with it from time to time. Now, the next one here is something called Graffiti Ballz. Now, I think this is mostly marble based, but only with graffiti balls. I'm going to show you how it is. So basically your object is to match the colors in each ball, just so you can reach up to the pinnacle. I only made it as far as, I think, the purple color, though it's really hard to figure out what needs to be done. Yeah, and basically when you're out of ink, it's pretty much game over for you. Gotta admit, this is an interesting game when you play cards right. That is, if you can manage to fix whatever needs to be fixed. Now this one here, oh boy, this is one's going to be quite an interesting one to deal with. This here is called the Spacerace Simulator. It's somewhat of a combination between pole position and outrun, in a way, based on its graphics and its gameplay. Let me show you how it is. So the object of the game is continue to race around this track until the time runs out. So it has that outrun vibe to it. There's no finish lines, there's no end point. Just keep racing till you're out of, I believe, cyber fuel? I have no idea what this looks. And of course you have the occasional crash from time to time. Now there's two different options to make sure you reach the allotted time. One of them is a speeding mechanic that works. So you hit A and you have a turbo boost to keep your speed in a much stable pace, while at the same time making sure you don't get yourself hit on a constant basis. Another option is the drift mechanic, because if you hit sharp turns, you need to drift in order to get past the sharp turns and not crash yourself into a tree or a sign or whatever type of thing that can get in your way. This is kind of interesting game, actually. Really fun if you can get the drifts down right. Though it would be frustrating because at times you're gonna have to have that timer run out anyway, because you see all those coins there? Those are actually your upgrade tokens. So once it's game over, you go to this upgrade section to upgrade your ship. And of course, you go back from the start to the very beginning, where you should be. So this is like pretty much an infinite loop until you ran out of time. And it's pretty much over for you in many ways. And trust me, you try to avoid these cars as well. Normally, you might get in the right of lane, but every time you get to the right of lane, you just pretty much basically get yourself beaten up over it. Normally I would do this do the speeding thing, but I'm a little pressed for time, so let's stick with what we need to stick with. There we go. I swear, this infinite loop thing is becoming a major pain in the ass. Anyways, let's get to the upgrades. Now, as you can see, you have 4 different upgrades to boost your racer. You have the Nitro Boost upgrade. You got Top Speed. You got ACC, which I'm pretty sure that's acceleration. And you have a Pickup Radius, which I'm pretty sure it's more of a magnet. It's really hard to tell. Regardless, once you have all these upgrades, you're pretty much going to be racing your heart's content, as far as I'm concerned. Let's just get the acceleration to be done with it. So that's it for that. Really fun game, though it gets tedious when it comes to the old raceway mechanic. But hey, at least it has its moments. Okay, moving around, we have 2 different arcade game, a special arcade game that's near and dear to my heart. Cyberdance, Euromix, and over there is the original Cyberdance. I'll get to that original Cyberdance later on, but right now this Cyberdance, it's pretty much a sequel to the original, to this one. Though it does depend, considering that DDR always has a wide variety of subtitles for their Dance Dance Revolution games. Now let me just see if we can fix this so I can show you how the game plays out. There we go. Now, just as you can see, there are 3 different songs for you to choose from. Let's go with the first one right here. Opposite the game, of course, is the DDR, so you have to follow the arrows. And you can use it with either the D-pad or the joystick. I'm choosing D-pad because it's easier to manage, and this is a DDR game, so DDR. So you gotta use the D-pad for that. Yeah, so this is basically a DDR game in a nutshell. Really fun because I like the DDR stuff. Now this one here is Smoke 'em, which is pretty much a shooter-based game, and you know how I am with shooters. Unfortunately, this is more of a police training arcade game than that of any other shooter game, so object of the game is you have to shoot the targets that are being shown with with limited time and ammo count, so could get frustrating on certain occasions if you can't aim it right. So let me show you how it is. As you can see, you have to hit the plates in grand succession. There's also a timer plates and golden plates for extra time and extra points. But then you also have skull plate, as in it might take your life away, which is kind of baffling because this is just target practice. Doesn't make any sense. And that was one of the golden plates I mentioned. And that's what happens when you hit the skull. You lose a life. Really fun, really fun. Though hard to manage with the targeting sensor. I use a D-pad to get a hold of it, but as you can see, using the D-pad is easy. Maybe the joystick's better, but I don't know. Both of them are either or, so who knows? Who knows? Alright, quick recharge, and I think we're good to go. Our next one here is called Championship Darts. This is mostly like a darting game. The biggest problem is you don't have much of an end game with these things, so the best bet is just play along. I'll show you how it works. You got an opponent to pick. 3, by the looks of it. And you're going to have to play darts with them until competition's over. What I usually do is I stick with the middle sometimes. And usually go up and down for certain areas. I don't even know about the concept of this game, considering there's no way in figuring out how to end it, or end the game in some certain way or fashion. Really hard to tell. Of course, you always have the janky movement that is automatically, which is always a problem for most people. And then you have these, which is like certain codes, I suppose. We have to hit a approximate number. So yeah, basically hard to figure out how this works. Worst part is there's no end game on this one. You just continue to play until you for as long as you can possibly can. Really difficult. So let's just stick with what we need to stick with. Okay, now we have Cyberdance, which is the original DDR in a way, unlike this one, which is the Euro mix. And as it stated before, it's the same thing as ever. Follow the arrows, use the D-pad or the joystick. Let's play one of the songs, which again, it's 3 of them. Let's play this one. Yeah, arrow's a little bit wonky, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, so the next one we have is something called Bomb Dudes. This is basically a cop-out of the Bomberman fade. And it definitely has its specialty, in a way. Basically, you could choose either Adventure or Party. Adventure's pretty much a solo campaign, so let's play with that. You get to pick your character. Don't know how this works, but hey, it's basically the premise is simple. Just use the bombs, blow people up, or slimes, ghosts, bugs, usual type of stuff. And along the way, you pick up a lot of power-ups to help you succeed. And what makes it interesting is that this is an endless game. And once you clear up the levels with all the enemies, head on down to the next one. Pretty simple, actually. Though it's not that fun when you try to... Ooh. Still, could be a bit hectic when it comes to this game, so definitely not an easy feat. Alright, so the next one here is Penguin Push. This is clearly a Super Mario Brothers clone. As the object of the game is you take down walruses and avoid seagulls and collect coins, so yeah, this is definitely one of those types of games. Let's give it a play, shall we? part of the risk. You have to... Definitely has that Mario vibe to it as well. With its level design. My theory, my type of strategy is to just go to the top and take them all down, as a means to make everything work. And as always, they will... If you don't hit them in time, they'll get more aggressive. And of course, if you go down, you're going to pretty much lose a life into the ocean. Fun when you get the idea and the strategy, so big recommendation for that one. Now this one's kind of interesting. This one's known as Communists from Mars. Yes, even back in the 80s and 90s, the Cold War was a big deal. Basically, this is mostly a missile command game, only instead of firing limited number of missiles, you have an unlimited laser that has a bit of a battery life. It looks kind of fun, actually, so let me show you how it works. You gotta So as you can see, you use your targeting sensor to fire your lasers and take down as many missiles and ships as you can, wave after wave. Objective, of course, is protecting all the cities below you from these incoming nukes. But you gotta be careful. Oof. And if you get yourself hit, it's an immediate game over for you. Really fun game, actually. Very entertaining and good replayability. I would give it a recommendation if you buy the Arcade Paradise, if you can. Sorry if there's a bit of a delay, but as you see, it's a little dark. I had to stop the videos and move everything to my drive so I can delete these videos and continue. But still, this is a good game, and you might like it. Alright, let's move on to this section here. We have here Blobs from Space. As you can see, you might not know it, but this is pretty much a Space Invaders clone. Here, allow me to show you what it's about. As you can see, this is basically Space Invaders in a nutshell. Only these aliens are more blob-like. I'm gonna try this again because I sort of slipped on that part. I like it that they started off nice and easy from the first couple of blobs, and then it starts to grow. Ignore the phone. Even have the spaceship to get more extra points if you need them. Oof. They were gonna have a boss where they have a bigger blob that you have to decrease to make it weaker, which makes so much sense. Alright, so the next one here is known as Fruit Crush. This one is more of a Dr. Mario clone than anything else, to say the least. Let me show you how it is. As you see, they want you to move the pills around, well, fruit now, and try to mix and match them. And the interesting part is, you see that bottle there? That's the fruits you need to mix to put inside there. Anything else gets rejected. Interesting gameplay mechanic, and it doesn't matter what level you are. I'm already at level 24 at the time of recording, and no matter what, they start with the basic fruit before they start increasing it, from strawberries to apples to, I believe, peaches. I'm pretty sure there's more, but I'm gonna have to wait and see about that part. I'm gonna continue because there's like daily special bonuses to get like these pounds for the upgrades, which I already have all of them. So bear with me for a second. It takes a while. In fact, after this round, I might have to make my leave with this game at least until I know for sure what I'm doing. we go. I'd better stop now because I don't want to get too crazy over this type of stuff. It does take a while to beat these levels, so I still have plenty more to get through with. Okay, so this next one is actually a jukebox. Now I know what you're saying, this is an arcade game, but the jukebox part of it, and you have to listen to some music just to get through it. Now most of this music comprises of mock-up bands with songs. From what I understand, they had songs like, say, Foo Fighters, 9 Inch Nails, Limp Bizkit, Cypress Hill, even a Rage Against the Machine with Arcade Paradise. In fact, there's a song, even though it's kind of blurry, is known as Ivor and the Horde, which makes sense. I think they have a YouTube video for this one, for the music video, so if you want to check it out. But you play music and you can listen to it while playing video games. That's all I can tell. Let's just continue on. Now this one here is known as Meteor Madness. Now as you might know, this is pretty much a mock-up version of Asteroid, but with a different twist. Instead of shooting asteroids, you shoot asteroids, pick up diamonds, escort them, and destroy all the turrets. Sounds crazy? Because it is crazy. But it's very entertaining. Here, let me show you. So the basic idea is to shoot the rocks, grapple the diamonds, and deliver it to the goals, while at the same time avoiding the turrets and the mini meteors. Let's take a look and see what they got. Controls here janky though, because it gets a little difficult. But once you get the hang of it, I think you might get used to that. You might get used to the gameplay. Yeah, that's kind of difficult to manage, but it's fun. Now we move on to this one, Gravichase. This is like somewhat of a Tempest field, especially considering that it is mostly a vector-based game. But instead of shooting around, you're trying to avoid the quote-unquote barriers that will close in on you. Really a challenging one, and I've had the most fun with it, especially with certain challenges. And you might enjoy it too if you appreciate it. Let's take a look. Yeah, so basically you're trying to go through these little holes within the barriers, just so you don't get yourself caught in this self-proclaimed black hole. It's kind of cool, especially how it's being portrayed. I swear, I spent more fun with this one than any other game out there, especially with challenges and the like. Oh, it looks like the business is closing. Let me just wrap this up as much as I possibly can. I don't want to be spending my time with this all day. There we go. See, my high score is pretty much 303. A fun one when you think about it. Alright, so we have about like 3 more games to look into. You might be surprised to see what they are. But Gravichase is one of my most favorite ones out there, besides Zombat and a few others I don't want to mention. So, if you want, you will want to check it out yourself. Who knows? Maybe you might get a higher score than me. Mine is 303, so you may never know, right? Right. Alright, so, after a bit of a quick charging, we might be able to finish the last 3 games. So this next one is called Toad and Turtle, and believe it or not, when you hear Toad, you can think of one thing: Frogger. Yes, this is pretty much a clone of the Frogger game, so you might be surprised to see what this is, how good it is. See? This is basically Frogger in a nutshell. Although it does tend to get a little complicated when you think you have the jump, but you don't. So it has everything from the Frogger game. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Especially the running over part. Yeah, that's some way of putting it, but it looks fun. Wouldn't you agree? And then we have UFO Assualt, which is, I don't know if you can call it a Space Invaders clone, because we already have a Space Invaders clone in Blobs in Space. Still, it does have a unique premise. Basically, you're a UFO trying to land, you need to destroy all the buildings to get to where you need to be. See? Drop bombs and blow up as many buildings as you possibly can. It's really cool. Definitely a different premise than what I was expecting. And last and certainly not least, and oh boy, this one's the toughest one I've ever played. This one's called, this is a foosball table, and your main goal, which is mostly what it is, try to beat the enemy team in about a couple rounds. It's pretty much the most toughest one out there, and trust me, you'll know it when I play this game, so you know what I'm talking about. Table football is what it's called. Yeah, as you can see, it gets a little tough trying to get a good goal out here. So I'm usually fortunate with these things. Sometimes I usually mash A lot, just and hope for the best. Oh, fun fact, this song you're listening to is actually on the original Cyberdance arcade cabinet as well, so it's a pretty much quicker song than all the others. And the longest one I've been hearing is the Night Watcher thing. Trust me, it's not a fun experience. Oh boy, that was a completely easy win, actually. Still, it's very frustrating trying to get the goals in a couple of times. Yeah, guess that's it. That's the entire arcade paradise in a nutshell. All the games and all of the and everything you need to know and what they are and what they're similar to. Now, if I were to guess, I think they're going to get more games here. I mean, as you can see from this blueprint, there appears to be 3 more slots left. I have no idea. I thought they have all the games, but I guess I was wrong. And this red slot looks red, so I'm pretty sure you need to unlock something to get this special cabinet. But as far as the last 2 games that was meant for DLC, I would go with Zombat 1, considering we already have a Zombat 2. And if I were to guess, I would have like a Mortal Kombat-esque fighting game, or anything Street Fighter related. I don't know. This is just me, but hey, I wanted to see something like that happening in this arcade. Add some more interesting gameplay within it. Oh no, I think this is a cool place, and I gotta admit, I was trying to save this game for a special occasion, and considering how it all played out, yeah, this is kinda cool. If I were to do my own arcade and put it someplace, I would say, as in a crazy perspective, maybe in a funeral home. I mean, my dad operates a funeral home. He's a director there, so maybe if there's a chance, I might have to use that funeral home one day once he retires and use it and start building an arcade out of it from inside. I do want to keep the outside though, considering that it has a certain history. I don't want to explain much, but it lasted for almost a century at the least. Regardless, I think this is a cool video game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are hardcore arcade fans or hardcore gamers would enjoy something like this. If you want to get a game like this, it's available on multiple platforms, including PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and even Steam. So that's it for the quick tour. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos. And I'll see you all next time. # where are the good cartoons?